Welcome everyone. We're here during August, which is National Breastfeeding Month. And it's actually the last week in August, which is Black Breastfeeding Week. So we're here celebrating. Today we're hearing a unique journey about breastfeeding from one of our staff members, Deanna.
Hi, I'm Deanna. I'm a nurse practitioner here at Gerald, Ignace, and I'm working in the psychiatry department right now. I have 3 boys, and I have breastfed all 3 of them, and I think all 3 have been pretty unique journeys. So let's see, my oldest is 13, and why did I start breastfeeding him in the first place? I don't know why, actually. I think I've always been a little hippie-ish, and I get, because it wasn't something that was expected in my family. My mom didn't really breastfeed. I don't think my grandmother breastfed, so it's just something I really wanted to do. I thought the health benefits were important, the bonding was important, and so we started it off, and it didn't go so smoothly. We had major difficulties with him latching on, and for me that story ended with me, I guess, not really breastfeeding. It was more I had to pump. So for about 18 months, I pumped for him, and that was the breastfeeding, because the latching on just didn't work out. He was losing a lot of weight, and so that decision for me led to just pumping breast milk. Then came my second child, and I was extremely nervous because I still wanted to breastfeed, but I had the negative experience from the first part and wondered, is this gonna work? But I think at that point I had a little more support and a little more knowledge behind me about the latch-on process, and I was willing to give it more time than I gave it the first time, and so it worked out. He took actually pretty quickly right away, and we breastfed. The thing about it though is that at that time in my life I was in school. It was a second degree. I was at Marquette getting actually my master's in nursing, and I had him like 5 months before I started the program. 4 months. And so when I started the program, I'm breastfeeding and I'm in school, basically full time. So that looked, when I wasn't with my baby, I was pumping again, but I was in bathrooms, so I was, in bathroom stalls in between classes, pumping breast milk. I didn't, get as much milk as I wanted to, probably because I'm in a bathroom stall, and that's not very stimulating. I would try to get like a picture. They would talk about get a picture of the baby and put it on the pump and do that, but then at the same time next to me, there are people who's in the bathroom, and so kind of breaks things up a little bit, but it worked out. We did that for a year, I think. Was it a year? I think we went 18 months with him too, but it was pumping and breastfeeding with him. So my third baby was a surprise baby, but still, that's a different story. And at that time, I was still in school, actually, because that process took a long time. That was my last semester. I was pregnant. I had the baby, and then I went back to finish my semester after 5 weeks after giving birth. So I'm in clinicals, and I had to pump again. So I was breastfeeding when I was with my baby, and then pumping at clinical. I didn't have to use a bathroom. I got to use the office of the doctor I was working with, which was really nice, so that worked out better. But for some reason, I just didn't produce a lot of milk, period, throughout that whole time. So my little baby was already little, and kind of a failure to thrive kid, low weight, and I didn't have the best milk supply, period. I would try lots of things. We tried to breastfeed often. My caloric intake was good. I tried to stay hydrated, but for some reason that time just wasn't a ton of milk, and I started, feeling bad, like he's got to eat. So I did introduce solids a little quicker than I did with the other kids, probably at 4 months this time, things like cereal to try to supplement. But we stuck it out. We breastfed when we could and pumped when we could. And I think I finished it all up with him at 12 months instead of 18, though. At that point, like, it was dry going on. It wasn't a lot happening, so we kind of quit there. And I would say all of it was worth it. I loved the bonding. I miss it sometimes, like I don't miss some of the sensations with, milk drying up or when your milk's coming in. Actually, I do kind of miss that too. Like all of the whole process is just like, if I could be there right now, it was a good place to be. I would take breast milk too and do things with it a little bit. So keep it for like ear infections or eye infections, and that was helpful because of the antibodies in the breast milk. I loved it. My family, like for me, there was a lot of pumping involved. Even when I was breastfeeding the last two, there was still a lot of pumping involved, and so my family finally recollects pumping all the time. Like I have a cousin who's like, every time I come over, you're pumping breast milk. It's just like shh, shh, shh. That sound is like all the time. So for like 10 years of my life, the sound of breast pumps was very fun to me. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Deanna, for sharing with us your journey. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.